Good evening, and welcome to Ednn, the Ethiopian Diaspora News Network. Today is September 1st, 2024, and we're here to bring you the latest and most important stories that matter to our community around the globe. In today's edition, we'll be covering a range of topics that impact Ethiopia and the wider Horn of Africa, from political developments to significant cultural events. Our coverage is designed to keep you informed and connected, no matter where you are. Tonight, delivering the news is our anchor, Wongol Tadas, who will guide you through the top stories of the day. So stay with us as we explore the headlines and dive into the details that shape our world.
Good evening and welcome to the Ednn Ethiopian Diaspora News Network edition. I'm Wongol Tadas, bringing you today's news on this September 1st, 2024. First, the headlines. Ethiopian Foreign Minister calls for joint efforts to maintain peace in the Horn of Africa. Renowned Ethiopian scholar and leader, Professor Endrias Eshete, passes away. Somaliland says Ethiopia appoints an ambassador to its consular office. Egypt-Somalia military cooperation escalates tensions with Ethiopia. Ethiopia converts Chinese WZ-551 APC to self-propelled artillery in missile and artillery systems. Italy supplies Bell for 112 helicopters to Somalia. Dear viewers, stay informed, stay connected, and continue engaging with the stories that matter to our community and country. Now, let's dive into the details. Ethiopian FM calls for joint efforts to maintain peace in Horn of Africa. Ethiopian Foreign Minister Haile Selassie has called for joint efforts among countries in the Horn of Africa to fight al-Shabaab in Somalia. Briefing journalists Friday in Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital, Haile Selassie said that al-Shabaab is well equipped to carry out deadly attacks in the Horn of Africa region, noting that countries in the region must unite more than ever before to defend the terror activities of al-Shabaab and keep it at bay. The foreign minister said Ethiopia is committed to jointly fighting the terrorist group by providing unreserved military and other support to Somalia until the Somali National Army can deal with security challenges in the country by itself. He also said countries in the region must redouble their efforts to stop those forces trying to undo the hard-won gains against terrorism in the region. He pledged that Ethiopia will continue building, mending and enhancing relations with neighboring countries, noting that there are unbreakable bonds of fraternity among the peoples of the region. Renowned Ethiopian scholar and leader, Professor Endrias Eshete, passes away. Former president of Addis Ababa University, Professor Endrias Eshete, passed away on August 30th, 2024, after being under medical care due to an illness. The announcement was made by Addis Ababa University earlier today. Academic contributions. Professor Endrias was a highly regarded figure in Ethiopian academia and public service, known for his substantial contributions across various fields. Serving as the president of Addis Ababa University from 2003 to 2011, he played a key role in transforming the university into a more research-oriented institution. During his tenure, he focused on expanding academic programs, fostering international collaborations, and enhancing the university's reputation both locally and globally. Endrias earned his Ph.D. in philosophy from Yale University in 1970, following his studies at Williams College. He later taught at several leading universities in the United States, including Brown University, UCLA, UC Berkeley, and the University of Pennsylvania. His teaching roles at these prestigious institutions, combined with his scholarly work, highlighted his intellectual capabilities and deep expertise in philosophy. He published numerous essays in moral and political philosophy, which have been widely cited in academic circles. UNESCO chair and advisory roles, in addition to his academic career, Professor Endrias served as the UNESCO Chair for Human Rights, Peace, and Democracy at Addis Ababa University. He also held the position of advisor to the Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. These roles allowed him to influence national policy and advocate for human rights and democratic governance within Ethiopia. Somaliland says Ethiopia appoints an ambassador to its consular office. The government of Somaliland has reported that Ethiopia has appointed an ambassador to its consular office in Somaliland. In a social media post dated the 29th of August 2024, the government of Somaliland announced. President News Bihi Abdi received Teshim Shund Hamido, who presented his credentials as Ethiopia's new ambassador. According to the Somaliland government, President Bihi and Ambassador Teshim discussed regional security, economic cooperation, and the strengthening of bilateral ties during their meeting. At the time of this report, Ethiopian authorities have not provided official confirmation of this appointment. Previously, Somaliland's Minister of Information, Ali Mohammed Hassan, stated that Ethiopia had elevated its consular office in Hargeisa to the status of an embassy. Ethiopia converts Chinese WZ-551 APC to self-propelled artillery in missile and artillery systems. Chinese-made WZ-551 armored personnel carriers. Ethiopian military mounted a D-31 122mm howitzer atop a Chinese-made WZ-551 armored personnel carriers. The Ethiopian Army has converted a number of Chinese WZ-551 armored personnel carriers to self-propelled artillery by mounting a D-31 122mm howitzer. The innovative approach was first unveiled in August 2016, when top military officials visited the special innovation and technology projects that will increase the military's firepower. However, it is not certain if the Ethiopian military continued with this practice, as they have gone ahead to acquire capable self-propelled artillery and rocket launchers. Last year, Ethiopia has purchased at least 32 Chinese-made Sh-15 PCL-181 self-propelled howitzers. The PCL-181 is a Chinese truck-mounted 155mm self-propelled howitzer used by the People's Liberation Army Ground Force. This artillery system is highly mobile and can self-deploy over long distances. It is light enough to be airlifted by most medium transport aircraft including C-295, C-130, and Y-9 or similar military transport aircraft, making it a more flexible option for a country's rapid reaction units. Furthermore, Ethiopia acquired extended-range Chinese-made half a dozen PHL-03 300mm MRLS, A-20 guided rocket artillery GRA systems, and M20 short-range ballistic missiles SRBMs each. Such weapons have a range of between 150 kilometers 93 miles and 300 kilometers 186 miles. Ethiopian National Defense Force relies greatly on long-range projectiles to hold faraway threats at risk. The East African hegemony continues to strengthen its artillery and rocket holdings, as well as other strategic weapons in its inventory to better handle regional crises when the time comes. Looking to greatly expand on its military offensive capabilities and give it a decisive edge over its longtime enemies and to establish a deterrent to Sudan and Egypt. Ethiopia embarked on an ambitious re-equipment program in the 2010s that sought to alter the military balance in the region in Ethiopia's favor. Considering the close military relationship between Ethiopia and China, it is little surprising that Ethiopia looked to China for the acquisition of such capabilities. In addition to being one of the few countries willing to supply such technology to Ethiopia, China also produces two systems that combine SRBMs and guided rockets into one modular system. Italy supplies Bell for 112 helicopters to Somalia. Somalia has received a significant shipment of Bell for 1 EPX helicopters, marking the largest single delivery since the lifting of the arms embargo. The $16 million helicopters, provided by the Italian government, were officially handed over to the Somali government earlier this week. The helicopters will be used in the fight against al-Shabaab. These Bell for 112 are the latest batch received by Somalia in recent times from international parties like Italy. In July last year, it took delivery of 2 of the type, while waiting a further 3. The Bell for 112 is a twin-engine helicopter renowned for its versatility and reliability, making it ideal for various applications such as troop transport, medical evacuation, and search and rescue operations. Its robust design ensures optimal performance even in the challenging conditions of Somalia. The introduction of Bell for 112 helicopters marks a substantial enhancement to the Somali government's counterinsurgency initiatives. These helicopters will enable rapid deployment of troops and supplies to remote regions and facilitate medical evacuations for injured personnel. The Somali government is still facing a number of challenges, but it is making progress in its fight against al-Shabaab. The arrival of the Bell for 112 helicopters is a major boost for the government's efforts. The African Union Transitional Mission in Somalia ATMIS has withdrawn about 2,000 troops in June 30th, and another 3,000 is expected to be withdrawn in September in compliance with the United Nations Security Council Resolutions 2628 and 2670, which mandates ATMIS to also hand over security responsibilities in agreed areas to Somali security forces. That wraps up tonight's edition of the Ethiopian Diaspora News Network. Thank you for joining us on this September 1st, 2024. We hope you found our coverage insightful and engaging. Stay connected with the DNN for the latest news and stories that matter to our community and country. Before we go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us continue bringing you the news that keeps us all connected. I'm Wongo Tadas, wishing you a peaceful evening and bright tomorrow. Until next time, good night.